Have you ever skipped a workout because you just didn't want to deal with your hair afterward? If you've ever left a class early to race to the showers or done the mental hair math to decide if a workout is worth ruining your blowout, then this episode is going to be for you. Today on What's Your Skincare Routine with Leora Luciano, I'm talking to Carrie Sporer and Meredith Krill, co-founders of SWAIR, the brand behind Showerless Shampoo and a system that takes you from sweaty to ready in minutes without wrecking your hair routine. We get into how two marathon training friends turned a real Equinox locker room problem into a beauty brand, what it looked like to launch as industry insiders, and the PR and marketing moves that actually worked for them as a bootstrap business. If you're an entrepreneur or aspiring founder, you'll love their story of Googling their way into contract manufacturing, building credibility with press instead of big influencer spends, and growing their line while staying true to performance and clean ingredients. And of course, we get into their own beauty, skincare, and hair routines, and how Swear helps you stop choosing between a good workout and good hair days. So, welcome, ladies, to What's Your Skincare Routine with Leora Luciano. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great.
I'm really good. I'm so excited that you're both here. So, Carrie, Meredith, we're going to just get into it and please have a back and forth. But I want to know both of your backgrounds, respectively, and then how you came together to create Swear.
Meredith,
I'll
do you
let
want
you
to
start.
kick it off?
You go, Care.
So I'm Carrie Sporer, and Meredith and I actually met while marathon training. We were in the same charity group that had a lot of organized runs, and we ended up being the same pace, which meant we ran hundreds, if not thousands of miles together the first summer that we met training. And now it's almost 20 years since we've been running together. So we run thousands and thousands of miles and became very good friends and had the same gripe that we were washing our hair every time that we worked out. So we complained about it for about a decade and a half and realized that working out and running was just getting more popular, but nobody was bringing any new sweaty hair solutions to market. And before starting the business together, my background was in luxury accessories. So there's a little bit of an overlap with just how to think about products and marketing and selling products. But luxury accessories, where your cost of goods is like $500 and you're selling them with commas in it, versus making hair care that's a little bit more mass appeal, is very different.
Yeah, and I'm Meredith Krill. My background is in the finance space. So I started in public accounting at one of the big four firms. And then for the past 15 years, I've been working in the sports space. So very different than a CPG world, but I'm kind of the finance person of the group. So I bring that to the table. But just to add a little bit to what Carrie was saying about us meeting is, we obviously love to work out, but just like some fun stories. We were both at Equinox for a while. So after we were marathon training, we would go to Equinox classes and we would always be ducking out of class like 5 minutes early because we had to be the first ones online for the showers. And, I have a ton of hair. So to wash, like shampoo, condition, style this hair was taking 30 minutes and we didn't have a solution other than washing our hair every single day. So that was kind of the pain point. Like 30 minutes to do this hair every day was just unacceptable. And we really tried all the different dry shampoos. And we always were just like, there has to be a better way. So that was really the impetus of why we needed this product on the market.
Take me on the journey from when you realized, okay, there has to be a better way than ducking out. Basically, it sounds like you were skipping out on your cool down and stretches
Mhm.
post class to do your hair, to get queued up in the shower so that you would have time and access to the tools to dry your hair after and all that stuff at the gym. I totally get that. But like at what point you've tried all the different hacks and you were like, there's got to be a better way. And then you were like, oh, it's us. We have the answers. We're going to come up with a solution. What was that period of time like for you?
So I think we complained about it for legitimately like 14 years. We understood that there was a contract manufacturing landscape, and we assumed that anyone bringing a new product to market was a chemist like playing around in their kitchen or bathroom. And after I was in-house for several luxury accessory handbag brands, I had my first son. I started doing some freelance work instead. My first day after my maternity leave was on a flight to Paris, and that kind of did me in from wanting to work in-house somewhere. So when I was consulting for handbag clients, I just started to learn a lot about the world of contract manufacturing that a lot of these amazing female founders didn't necessarily have the skills, but they had the idea. And learning that really kind of put the bug in my ear and then passed it along to Meredith during runs, being like, I think that if we can be really smart about how we describe this product and do a lot of research on factories, someone can do the science for us. And I know it sounds a little bit naive, or maybe looking back, like I kind of laugh at how, little we knew about the beauty space, but assuming we were going to be the ones like putting the ingredients together and not necessarily just finding an amazing chemist.
Yeah, and just going back to our Equinox days. So after we would work out at Equinox, we would walk to work. We were doing like double workouts. We were kind of crazy back in the day, but um one of the things we always talked about on our walks was just like business ideas. Like we always had like these that's entrepreneurial spirit, like what if we did this or what if we did that? And like none of them really like came to fruition. They were all just ideas, but it was really when we came up with this idea that we needed for ourselves and our own to make our own lives easier that we were like, maybe we're onto something. Like this is something we should really start looking into and start calling labs. And it was just like really something that was going to impact our lives. And I think that's what helped us make those next steps.
Going from this process in maybe sort of more of a naive headspace, in your words, what would you say were the biggest lessons that maybe you learned during that product development phase?
I think that I was kind of shocked about how the process went about perfecting it. I think our experience now, we have three products that are all focused on multitasking and time saving. But really, the first iteration gets you like 90% of the way there. When you clearly explain what you want to the chemist. And it's really that last 10% that takes the months and months and months of fine tuning the different ingredients, the hand feel, the textures, the scent. So, you know, the science, most of it happens like right away. And then it really just is making it perfect that takes so long. And I didn't realize it was going to be like that, but we've had this similar experience every time we brought something new to the table.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that.
Okay.
That was no, I honestly, I think something that really surprised me, like, so we're industry outsiders in the hair care space, and just everyone always is like, how did you like go about finding your labs and going about that? And we're like, it's called Google.com. Like the amount of stuff we can figure out just by Googling like things. Like we thought it was like a much like you had to be an insider. What lab works for you? What like you needed all this insider information, but it really was just us like putting out our pitch to these labs, and the one that we landed on was the one that like fit what we wanted. But I thought it was just more you had to be an industry insider to like know all these things.
That's really great advice that sometimes it sounds like a no-brainer, but I think when you're in that process, it's like we have the internet. We have much more resources now than maybe entrepreneurs of even 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40. So it's still a great reminder that yes, there's still things that you can access even going from zero to launching a brand. With that, I wanted to talk about the launch of your first product. When did that come out? Let's talk about the product and what it does.
Yeah. So our showerless shampoo is an alternative to dry shampoo, and it basically works without any of the residue, which for us was what we needed to bring something to market. We didn't want just to put our label and athletic branding on a product that already existed. We felt incredibly strong that if we were going to do this and put our own savings behind it, then it was going to be a completely revolutionary product. So our showerless shampoo, it's the consistency of water. So unlike a dry shampoo, and you just spray a fine mist on your sweaty hair. And when you towel dry it out, it actually removes the dirt and the sweat from your hair in a way that no other product on the market works.
Yeah, and when we were formulating, when we were going out to labs and doing this Google process, like when we were doing our pitch, it was like we had a no list. And we didn't even know what that meant at the time, but it was just us going into our cabinets and reading other products of things that we did not want to formulate with. So, like, alcohol was like the number one no, because that's very drying for your hair. But we kind of just like, we're like, these are the products that, after researching, we're like, we don't want these in our formulation. And a lot of labs were like, we only know how to do this with alcohol. So it was really just finding the right people who understood our idea. And we always say, like, we work out and we care about our bodies. So we should be care about what we put on our bodies. So, like, that is why we were meticulous about the ingredients in our products and making sure the lab that we were going to work with was going to work with us and the ingredients that we wanted in our products.
Okay, so now you've launched and you're putting your product out into the world. How did you get your first customers to believe in the concept?
Well, most of them share our last names. Our first, yes, I was like, my mom. But we actually, something that is a little bit different than I feel how brands are launching now with a go to market strategy that's really influencer heavy or relies on social media. Coming from a luxury fashion background, I felt really strongly about working with traditional media outlets. So we hired a PR team to help get us into some roundups, different magazines for our launch. And that's kind of we leaned on a little bit more of an old school strategy, but we knew that being kind of nobodies, but being able to say, we've been seen in Allure, we've been seen in Glamour, we've been seen in Vogue was going to give us a different kind of credibility than being seen all over Instagram. And it may have been a softer sales push in the beginning, but the fact that even though when we launched 5 years ago, we can take that street cred with us forever. When we say, Michael Strahan was spraying it and smelling it on the Today Show, and it was amazing. Network TV, that's something that we could take with us forever. So we were a little bit old school about how we got our name out there and our initial customers beyond friends and family.
That's great. That's also really great advice because you definitely hear the big social media push, with influencers and especially now. So, since launching, have you re examined that strategy or are you continuing to push in the same way? You've launched additional products. So, I want to get into that as well. Has any of that changed?
I think that we now have included brand ambassadors in our strategy. We haven't done the big paid influencer thing. We've heard anecdotally and also just from like a pure cash perspective, like we're a bootstrap brand, so we don't have the money to throw at a big influencer and like cross our fingers. And we found that people have really mixed results with it, like just getting to know other founders in the space. So we rely on our own advocates and, our own customers. And we've been lucky enough to be found by some really incredible people with their own audiences and a lot of fitness instructors who the people in their classes are always desperate to know what they're using. So we've just found our own audience to be our ambassadors. And we do have an ambassador program where they get compensated for being part of our community. But yeah, we haven't just sort of like slid into someone's DMs.
Yeah, and a lot of our social media strategy is just education because we are a new product, right? So a lot of our social media is Carrie and myself just kind of educating people on how to use our products. So what you do, what you don't do. So it is very heavily co-founder focused on our social media. We do also have a lot of ambassadors, but I think we really need to hone in on the education piece. And that's what we do best. And that's what we know. So I think that's really helpful to display on our social medias as well.
Yeah. So, you had your hero product and then you have three other products. Is that correct? So,
Two.
three. So, you also have
Three total.
You have 3 products in total now, so when did you
I have
launch?
the whole family with me.
Yay, okay. And can you tell us a little bit about what those are and why you decided to launch those as well?
I'll do our second product. This is our Sweat Shield leave-in conditioner, and it's differentiated from any other leave-in conditioner on the market in that it actually protects your hair from the sweat that is to come after wash day. So you use this on wash day. You can use it. I don't have a ton of hair, so I use it as my only conditioning product. People with more hair, it may just be kind of like more of a finishing product that they use after conditioning in the shower. So it really just depends on how much conditioner you need. but it coats your hair so that the minerals from sweat don't settle into your strands, which can be incredibly drying and damaging to your hair. So, we wanted to make sure that we put our spin on it. And that was kind of the first way for us to have a system. So you have your sweat shield on the days that you wash your hair, and then that complements really nicely the showerless shampoo on the days that you're not washing your hair.
And then in 2025, October of 2025, we launched Speed Mask. So it is a hair mask that works in 60 seconds. So most hair masks, you have to get in the shower, put the hair mask on, get out of the shower, wait 15 minutes, get back in the shower, wash it out for it to be effective, which we are the people who want to have that time in our lives, but we just don't. And it really goes with our ethos of time saving and multitasking products that we created a speed mask, a hair mask that works in only 60 seconds. So, how it works is you put it on before you wash your hair. I usually do it in the shower. Like it's the first thing I do. It's in a pump bottle. So carry like this is different than a lot of speed masks. So we have it in like an actual pump instead of a tub, which is just so much easier to apply. So I get in the shower. It's the first thing I put on my hair. I wait 60 seconds, wash my body, do whatever else I need to do. And then I wash it out, wash my hair. And it really has such conditioning properties. I actually used it today. And honestly, I can't stop touching my hair because it's so smooth. But it's one of those products where with cumulative use, it just makes your hair better and stronger. And it's just really an amazing product. And we're really excited about it.
Okay, quick follow-up on that. Is your hair wet or dry when you apply it?
Oh, great question. You can apply it to wet, dry, or sweaty hair. So I apply it to my dry hair. I know some people use it when they are out of the shower and they're just like getting into the shower. So there's all different ways to use it, but you can use it on wet, dry, or sweaty hair. And it's effective.
Okay, and for the products that you've launched, are they suitable for all hair textures, hair types? What if you have color-treated hair? Not everyone is a natural blonde. Some of us are curious about that.
What's really great about our products is they are suitable for all hair types. The showerless shampoo, in particular, has been recommended by the curly girl method community because it is much more hydrating than a traditional dry shampoo. So, all of our products rely on hydrophobic technology, which means that it's deflecting the water from your hair, which is really important for maintaining the integrity of your hair. But as your hair gets wavier, curlier, coilier, it's really important that you don't kind of overwash it. Not even in terms of like the amount that you're washing it, but the products that you're using that they can seep into your hair and actually cause damage. So all of our products rely on that same technology that prevents the water from getting into the strands of your hair and weakening it. So it really works great for all hair types. With our showerless shampoo, we recommend that towel dry. A lot of our curly girls will use either a microfiber towel or even an old t-shirt and do more of a scrunch method. So when we say towel dry, we always like with a little asterisk of like whatever that means to you.
That's great to know. Now, since launching SWAIR, how has that changed your relationship to fitness or beauty, how you see the space, whether it's health and wellness? Has there been any change? Could you both speak to that?
You want to kick it off, Meredith?
It's a really great question. So honestly, especially since we've launched our products, it's like I never have to skip a workout because of my hair. So I think that is a huge issue for a lot of women is that they're like, should I do this workout or I just wash my hair? We call it the hair math. Like I just washed my hair yesterday, so I don't want to get too sweaty, but I want to work out. But we all are like having this conversation in our head about like, can we work out today because of our hair? So for me, it's not an issue anymore, right? Like I know that if I go for a very sweaty 5 mile run, I can have my hair done within 5 minutes. And we always say sweaty to ready in 5 minutes or less. And usually it's less. So that's a huge game changer for me is that I never have to skip a workout because of my hair. And I think that's really important. It's one of the important things that we want to send the message is that you don't have to choose between working out and your hair.
Yeah. And I think for me, the combination of being someone who works out and now being someone who works in beauty, I feel like it's really easy to get carried away and want to use every single product, but it's actually made me much more of a minimalist in terms of my routine. because I kind of know that you just need a few powerful products for both like my skin and my hair to really get me through every single day. So with my hair, I just use a regular like clean shampoo. I use our showerless shampoo. I use our leave-in conditioner. I use our hair mask. So that's like really just 4 hair products total. Because when your hair is healthy, you don't need much more. A lot of the other stuff we're putting on is just to kind of mask the fact that your hair may not be that healthy.
That's great. So now I have to get into it with you both and ask you, what's your skincare routine? But
Mhm.
also, I want to know both of your skincare routines, but also hair and also any other wellness parts of your routine that are essential.
I love this. So, Carrie and I co founded a business together, but we've also still run together 3 days a week. And people are like, how are you guys still friends at the end of the day? Well, we are because we see each other Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for runs. And then we usually work a day or two together. So, this is since 2007. We've been running together. So, we try not to talk about work on our runs, but that is part of our wellness routine. In terms of skincare, I'm, like, kind of obsessed with skincare, and I think, like, I got in early. So my typical skincare routine is morning serum and then moisturizer. Moisturizer is, like, my favorite product, and then in sunscreen, like, everyday sunscreen. Even when it's cloudy out, I'm like, "Sunscreen." And then my makeup routine is uninspiring. I feel like I've done the same stuff, so we're not gonna go into that, but then my night routine, I always wash my face, and then I do a serum, moisturize, and I do use a retinol, yeah, every other day. So that's kind of my skincare routine. I, like, love skincare more than makeup, so kind of crazy. And then hair is, like, old SWAIR products, like, I think I wash my hair 2 days a week, so every other day, it's showerless shampoo.
Okay, don't laugh at me, but I like have all my stuff sitting near my computer.
Ooh,
Um,
I see some that I know. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
so
Yes.
during the day, again, I'm pretty big minimalist. Day and night at Clean Skin, I have like different vitamin C serums that I'm always playing with. This one, we go to different beauty events, and I think I got this for free somewhere, but I really like it. This vitamin C serum, and then Meredith said always sunscreen like 366 days a year, always putting it on. And we met the founder of this Good Instincts brand, which is amazing. We're both
It is an amazing
huge fans of
sunscreen.
that. Also coming from the handbag industry, You Beauty, the founder, was a huge handbag blogger. So I love that she's made this transition and has an amazing brand. So that's the eye cream that I used. And then just like a regular moisturizer under my sunscreen. That's always like the top layer. But that's kind of what I do during the day. And then I do the exact same stuff at night, but just without the sunscreen. And I brought it, my tretinoin. And if you're using retinol, double make sure you're using sunscreen because that
Yeah.
will magnify that sun damage.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your routines and sharing about Swear. Can you share where people can find more information?
Yeah, we're at swearhair.com and swear hair on all the socials. So swear spelled like hair, SWAIR. We still answer almost every single DM ourselves. So feel free to slide right in if you have any questions about the product. Or you can just email us at Carrie at Swear Hair or Meredith at Swear Hair.
Yeah, and just one little anecdotal thing because everyone's like, "Swear," and I was like, "It stands for sweaty hair." And we came up with that name on a run, literally. I'm like, I remember exactly where we were when we're like, "Swear," like we love it.
I
Yeah.
love it. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining. We got through all of the questions that I had for you, all of my burning questions. And now I'm going to do the hair math and I'm not going to skip my next workout because I have the answer with Swear.
We got you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.